And I think we've learned something new about the RV community that really surprised us. Where is our next adventure going? You're real brave there using that username. Should you guys really be camping? I said us and a couple million other people would be a bad day for RV manufacturers. Enough of the negativity. What are they gonna see every week from us moving forward?
I don't know. Good morning, guys. Here at Buc-ee's, getting some gas. This is Memorial Day weekend and we're getting ready to go to the farm and check out some things for the rally coming up. We just want to take you along with you, talk about a few things that's been happening, some negativity stuff that we've had dealing with, and then with the direction of the channel. Let's get some gas, some coffee, and get on the road.
What is gas this weekend?
What's DEF? It's 401 a gallon. I really like to refer to that as 2 arms, all your toes, 1 ankle, and an ear.
Wow.
$46 for 11 gallons.
What'd you get? Caramel macchiato?
No, Buc-ee's church coffee.
Oh no. So it's Memorial Day weekend and it was pouring down rain across half the United States, as you all know. So tell us in the comments, did you go camping in the rain? Because we did not. And as you guys know, we're part-time, so this is what we're doing this weekend, which is, well, we did a bunch of other stuff and hung out with some base camp friends, which was totally fun. I think you may have already seen that video when we went out with Brad and Dana and Brian and Jamie and drove the truck a little bit. Good times. Today's Sunday and we got to go to the farm, which is in London, Kentucky. And as you guys know, the 4-channel rally's coming up. And today we're going to go check out the stage because we were having a few little issues, I guess, with where to put the band and possible weather. So since we're close by, we're gonna go scope it out for the rest of the crew.
So let's get the negativity out of the way. As far as comments and things like that, that's part of being a YouTuber. You kind of get used to it, but it just seems like, and I don't really understand why, our society should be advancing. We have more modern comforts and more modern things to make you happier, but we seem to be getting worse as a society. And I don't really understand it. People are not getting better. And I think to me, a great example of this, especially in the town that we live in, is when the light turns green. There's no patience. And so the guy that's 4 cars deep will blow his horn as soon as the light turns green, go, get out of the way. And I'm like, oh my gosh, man, how do we get so negative as a society? And I think a lot of it, and I'm not going to get into politics, but I'll just say this. I think the more that they can keep our country divided, I shouldn't like you because you think this way, and you shouldn't like me because I think that way. I just don't understand why we're buying into that as a society. And quite frankly, shame on all of us for that.
Even social media has contributed to the brain's activity and our lack of ability to have this sense of calm and patience during just normal activities throughout the day because of how impatient we've become using the internet and using social media and everything's now.
It's the microwave society.
Yes.
I think the traffic thing, if you just stop and just look back at whatever you do, the mall, Walmart, wherever you go, and you just
the grocery store.
Step away from the ledge, if you will, and not participate in people's whatever you want to call that. Yeah. You'll be really shocked how people act toward each other, and I don't understand. I don't understand it because the way I grew up was if someone's good to you, you're good to them. I don't really give a rip what you believe or what you think or who you voted for, any of that stuff. I don't care. If you're cool with me, I'm gonna be cool with you. And if you're not cool with me, I'm gonna be cool with you, and then I'm gonna separate myself from the situation, and then the situation has taken care of itself because it's no longer a thing. I'm not gonna be hey, you're being a jerk, so I'm gonna see you 1 and up you 5 back to you. I just don't understand why we do that to each other.
Match each other's energy, whether it's negative or positive. We should be matching each other's positive energy, not negative. Another thing Jarrett and I have commented on before is how and we'll get to more of this in our conversation today, but how we've always thought that the RV community treats each other well for the most part. And I think we've learned something new about the RV community that really surprised us recently.
Caught us off guard.
That makes us change our mind a little bit, or at least not be so naive. I find it odd that we can all be camping next to each other and be so cool at the campground. Hey man, you need help? How you doing? What are you doing this weekend? Whatever, to a perfect stranger. Get those two same people on the road, like maybe they left the campsite and put them in traffic in a hectic situation.
Without their camper, mind you.
Without their camper, and they might be total a-holes to each other. You know what I mean?
Oh, it's crazy.
It's like, what is the double standard there? Like, I don't know. I don't get that. Like, is who you are outside the campground the same person you are at the campground? I hope so. And you could say that as far as like, that's like the thing we say about Christianity, right? Like,
sure.
Who are you outside the church? You know, or in any situation, like integrity. Are you this way on YouTube? And are you one way on YouTube and you're another way off YouTube? That's another one. Like, I'm just using those as examples, right?
Some of you guys are at church watching our YouTube video being an a-hole to us while the guy's preaching. Come on, man.
Oh my gosh, we're gonna get to that in a comment that was made to us. Sorry. We're gonna get to that in a comment that was made to us. And I was taken back when I actually clicked on the guy's profile. So we'll talk more about that in a minute. Let's just go ahead and cover the elephant in the room, in the car, in the 4Runner. Is there an elephant in here? One of the previous videos that we posted, which we currently refer to as our boondocking video. This video actually posted on my birthday. So the day it posted, I was not expecting the flood of attacking comments that we got. And I'm not gonna say it ruined my birthday, but I wouldn't have posted it on that day had I had known. But let's talk about it for a second.
First off, I want to say, like, we got so many negative comments, and a lot of you pointed to Valerie. I don't know if you know this about me, but I'm pretty particular about my stuff. And I did not want a bunch of ants in my camper, and there was a crap ton of people coming to show up, so we couldn't move our camper. And I just wasn't, and I'd driven like 9 hours that day, and I was not in the mood for all the people and all the stuff that was happening all at once. And I was probably ready to get out of there faster than Valerie. But you guys took it like Valerie was the one that's like, oh, if my wife, someone literally said, if my wife acted like that, I would throw her out on the side of the road. Whoever you are, I feel sorry for your wife. I'm just going to go ahead and throw that. Because if something went wrong and you're just going to pitch your ass out, I ain't going to say it.
Yeah,
you're a jerk.
Rough on the woman, right? Like, yeah, I agree. And thank you for that.
Well, that's the thing. Is like,
yeah, that was one of the comments. A lot of them got hidden because YouTube will hide and we can see them on the back end, but they don't get like published so the public can see them because they use like profanity or the middle finger emoji. We got middle finger emojis and like they called us bitches and like things like that. So like those kind of comments will get hidden by YouTube or taken down. And of course, if we see them and they're personal attacks, we will delete it. And we, again, back to like, this is part of putting yourself out there on YouTube or anywhere on the internet, any of the social platforms. It's just unfortunately part of it, and you have to filter through it. You got to have thick skin and a backbone and look at it a couple different ways. I used to look at it like, I understand this is abc123@gmail. You're real brave there using that username and being able to say what you want to say and hiding behind your Gmail account. I used to look at it like those people who commented that way and were that rude and mean and just like personal attacks and just had nothing but negative things to say were 14-year-olds in their mom's basement with nothing to do that day, like bored at 2 o'clock in the morning, and you're 14. So I didn't care if you were 14 or 74. You made a comment like that, I look at it like you're in the mentality of a 14-year-old, like back in middle school. Like, who talks like that? And now, since this boondocking video, I was like, wow, some of them all aren't 14. We're taken back a little bit by what we've learned about the RV community as a whole. Like disappointing.
I will say this, the comments from the boondockers, if you're really boondockers, disappointed me so much in the boondocking community that I want nothing to do with you guys.
Well, I even was going as far in my thinking as, let's give them the benefit of the doubt here. These are the ones coming out of the woodwork who are the middle school 14-year-old, like just negative people in the world. Like somehow the algorithm pushed this video to a brand new audience that we had not been pushed to before.
We weren't ready for y'all.
And I know why. Now this is all like learning, okay? Like we're just here part-time RVers having a good time, right? Like just trying to have fun on YouTube, learning something new, doing new things. And we have learned so much about how to grow a YouTube channel, which I know we don't have these massive numbers like other channels do, but we don't do this for a living full-time, number one. But we have learned a lot and we've come a long way, and what we have learned is coming through and showing that we are doing better. Our content is getting better. Our editor is freaking fantastic, and our approach to how we do things is getting better. Our storytelling, our titling, our thumbnails. And so if you want to grow, you have to play the YouTube game to a certain extent. And that's what we've been trying to do, is like do the things that get the algorithm to pick up your video and move it. And that's exactly what happened in this case. And so even though the comments we received were very negative for a while, there was a lot of positive comments in there too. So please don't misunderstand. It was a lot of negativity up front, and then the positives started coming in, like people who agreed with us and people who would have been like, hell no, we're not staying there either, you know.
Right.
Like we camp like y'all do, we get it. Like this is not a comfy situation. So we know how to play on emotion in the title, in the thumbnail, and in this title I used the word boondocking. Okay, I don't think we've ever used that word before. So the algorithm must have pushed us toward a group of campers who camp in a certain way that is different than the way we normally camp. Also in the thumbnail, I chose to give it like a vloggy storytelling style of thumbnail where we were both kind of looking out the window and he's looking one way and I'm looking the other, and all it says is, yeah, no. Like, we're not doing this again. We boondocked for the first time for 30 minutes and left. Yeah, no. Anybody's going to click on that video out of curiosity. It does seem like there's going to be some drama involved. And yes, we did play on that. Now, was there acting? Not really, because in those moments when I didn't realize I stepped in the ants and they were up my ankles. Now, y'all didn't like get to see all the moments because we were trying to film as it was actually happening. That's very hard to do. So I got to show a few of them on my feet, but like the gnats swarming us and like getting in our nose and mouth, like you didn't get to see a lot of that. And us talking to the guys that worked at the winery, the guys and girls, and the people outside having their wine and like the gnats. It wasn't all captured on camera, but what was captured was the emotion of what we were feeling, which made it look like a lot of freaking drama. And so, but it was like our real personalities, and we're like, man, this sucks, you know. And yes, I freaked out when the ants were up my legs because I didn't know what was happening in the moment. That was real. But what I'm saying is, when you take those moments and you put them in the first 30 seconds of the video and you edit it in a way that like adds to the emotion, that's how you get better at YouTube. That's how the video is going to perform better. And you all know this because you comment about it sometimes, or you have seen other RVers use drama in a way that maybe wasn't necessary, or maybe shed something in a more negative light than didn't need to. And I'll get to that too, because we could have done that in our Gulf State Park video, but we chose not to. Had I put an exploding fire pit on that thumbnail for Gulf State Park, if y'all saw the video, you know what I'm talking about, the fire pit issue, we could have gotten 100,000 views that day. And had we played it right and done things in the first 30 seconds of the video where we showed us all like freaking out on camera, we could have attracted more attention to that video, but we chose not to for several reasons. Number one, I don't want to be the channel that gets the attention about, because this Gulf State Park is so brand new. I wasn't going to do that to them. Number one, we're not jerks. Like, we give them an opportunity to like, it wasn't a big deal. I mean, it was, someone got injured, but it wasn't, because like it's an issue that can be taken care of, and it's an issue that can happen anywhere. So do you see what I'm saying? Are you following? Are you guys tracking here? Like, I wasn't going to shed light on that resort, that state park resort, negative light, because of I wanted views or attention or money from the AdSense revenue because we got 100K views on that day. You know what I'm saying?
We try to be like people of integrity. So if we say this video is going to be on driving to Buc-ee's and getting gas, well, that's what we're going to do. We don't say we're, went to the gas station and got in a fist fight and blah blah, just so that you watch the first 2 minutes of the video, we'll just tell you like, hey, this is what happened and that's what happened. And so when you go to that harvest hosting video, we were literally done in 30 minutes. But I will say this, like most of the comments that come from that video, and I can tell by the comment that was made, they didn't watch the video.
Had that boondocking video been just us boring old vlog, oh, there's an anthill on the ground, oh, look at that, there's some gnats floating in my wine,
that sucks.
That sucks. Let's sit here and have dinner. I don't know. I'm just saying, had it been a boring video with no emotion at all, you guys would have clicked off and not watched it. But that's not what we did. We used that emotion and we played it so there would be emotion coming from us and an emotion coming from the viewer. We just didn't realize that we would attract all the negative emotions coming from the viewer. So it's actually kind of funny because we didn't expect that, but we didn't realize they'd be so pissed at glampers and people who love RV resorts and tell us how we suck and we're sissies and we should just sell the camper and live and stay in hotels. And I'm like, what? Hold on a second. We do. Our camper is our hotel.
It's nicer than most hotels.
I don't understand the comment. Did you not know that the RV industry sells a lot of hotels on wheels for people like us to vacation every weekend? Like, the RV industry is booming with glampers. There's so many developments of RV resorts being built all over the country because of campers like us.
Right.
Excuse me, glampers like us. Guys, this is a glamping channel, and a lot of you who follow us know that, and you camp in very similar ways than we do. But this particular video went to so many new viewers, they didn't know that about us. And so I can actually see why we got the comments we did. I'm not defending some of the rudeness, but I'm saying that, like, I can see where they got that reaction. Because, like, oh my God, there's an ant! Oh my God, the gnats! My hair dryer! I can't use my hair dryer! Like, okay, let's just cover this now. He married me because I am not that person. Can we just cover that now?
Yeah, that's one thing. That's one thing I liked about Valerie. Very early on, when I very first met her, is I thought, well, she's not high maintenance, and honestly, she's not.
Thank you. I'm really not. Like, I don't shop for Coach purses or like, I'm not into name brand stuff. That being said, too, we did want to kind of address the confusion on the definition of bougie. Don't you think people have the definition of bougie wrong? If you actually look up the term bougie, it's kind of like an offensive way to say that you're a pretentious snob. I think some people use it incorrectly sometimes, because we got a couple comments that said, well, I didn't realize Val was that bougie. She doesn't like bugs and ants and gnats. I'm like, wait a minute, does bougie mean you don't like bugs and ants and gnats? Or does bougie mean you're a pretentious snob and you like the finer things in life? I always thought that bougie meant you just like nicer things.
Yeah, same.
But if you look up the definition, it's kind of like you're a pretentious snob. And I was like, ooh, that's the first time I felt the word bougie in a negative way. I was like, ouch, they called me bougie. What do you think bougie means, Jarrett?
Well, bougie, I always kind of thought, well, if Val's bougie, I'm bougie. But I'm probably the least pretentious snob you'd ever meet.
Right.
But I do like nice things. I mean, but I'm like, yeah, Val's bougie driving around and we're in her 6-year-old 4Runner.
Hey, there's a difference between being materialistic and liking quality experiences.
Well, I think to your point is, like, when we go camping and we're going to spend all this money, and all y'all that part-time camp, can probably relate to this, is like, if I'm going to go and, like, drag my camper 4 hours, 5 hours, 12 hours, whatever, to a destination and spend my time off, I want to have a good time and I want to have a good experience. I don't want to do all that to be stuck in something that I don't find comfortable. And there's nothing wrong with that. And so if that makes me bougie, then by God, I'm bougie. I don't care.
Right. I almost took it as a compliment for so long.
Yeah.
They're like, wow, Val and Jarrett are bougie. I'm like, thank you. We like quality experiences.
Maybe it's like, bless your heart.
Now it's more like,
bless your
you're
heart.
bougie.
Yeah.
People might disagree if they see a moment like that. Totally get it. In their defense, like, if that's all you saw, I probably would have had the same thought. But that's actually not like the true context behind everything that was playing out that day. Okay guys, so new day. We're packing up the camper. We're actually going to the London Rally tomorrow. We have watched some of the raw footage of us talking in the car, and as promised, we want to share some of those comments from that video with you all and give you our honest response and reaction. We also found a new word for bougie. You want to tell them what super hootie means?
Fancy.
You super hootie?
Super hootie is the Idaho version of bougie.
Something in the Pacific Northwest. We heard a friend of ours from Idaho say something about super hootie. We said, what? She said super hootie. What do you mean what? Is this not a word you use in the East?
No. No. I'm like, that's first for us. Because she's talking about a friend of hers who's a nurse, and she's like, oh, she's a super hootie nurse. And we're like, huh?
It was super hootie. H-O-O-T-I-E?
Yeah.
Hootie,
like Hootie and a Blowfish, yeah. So we're no longer bougie, we're just hootie.
We're just super hootie.
That's right.
Let's go with that. All right, do we have everything we need, first of all? I mean, my RV kitchen companion came in handy today.
Well, the great thing about this trip is we're going to come home with less stuff than we left with, because we're leaving some of the stuff behind.
Yeah, but man, when you're the hosts of the rally, like, we're taking so much crap.
Your basketball's in there somewhere.
Glory, hallelujah, because I'm going to shoot some hoops.
Bullshit.
This video is sponsored by Liquefied. Great company, great people, great products. Everything from black tank treatment, tank and sensor cleaner, and the old swirly bowl cleaner. Awesome product. But you know what's even better? They're giving away an Alliance Delta Solo ML166. Now I told you last time they were giving one away and y'all didn't believe me, so I'm telling you again, they're going to do it again. The giveaway ends July 6th. July 6th is the last day, giving away same day. They ain't messing around. So look, going to tell you how you can do it. Prime Day's coming up. If you shop on Amazon like most of us do, you can get 20% off single products or 25% off bundles. But guys, you don't get points on Amazon. You got to go over to the website, and then you get the same deal, and they're giving 5 times the points for singles and 20 times the points for the bundles. Well, Jarrett, what's the points? Well, it's easy. 10 points for every dollar you spend, except for on Prime Day, and then they get the multiplier. Don't ask me to do the math because I'll screw it up. But make sure you check them out. We'll put the QR code right here. Now back to the video.
I won't call you quitters, but you just might be the presidents of the Glampers Association.
Not even close. There was a 100-person birthday party coming, and we couldn't move, and my slide was out in the parking lot where people were coming around it. That's not a good situation to be in. And the people said, crap, we should have blocked this off when we got there.
Who's the people? The Harvest hosts people at the front desk. They said, we should have blocked this off so none of y'all could book it because there's this big old party and blah, blah, blah. Yes. I disagree. We are not the presidents.
No,
we are definitely members.
Yeah, oh yeah. I mean, we like our stuff.
Guys, we're in a sport track, fifth wheel.
Rear kitchen with a dishwasher.
What do people think the presidents are? What do people think of people who camp in Prevos or, you know, American coaches?
Like the Dentons. Like the Dentons. I mean, the Dentons are like, I mean, they are prima donnas if there ever were one.
We had a Holiday Rambler Nautica. What does that make us then? James Webster, somebody said, it would be fun to take them tent camping for a week. The video would go viral. Ha 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 ha. Wow. Okay, what do you think about all that laughter about us tent camping? First of all, no. Second of all, because I tent camped when I was like 16, 17, 18, 19, and 20. I did my time.
And I tent camp too, and I don't mind tent camping, except for my back hurts.
Exactly,
And
we're old.
Yeah, I'm not old, but we're
older.
We're more experienced.
Exactly.
And so...
And camping's supposed to be comfortable, not sucky. Okay, this Terry person said, you're not cut out for boondocking. You're too high end. I said, our definitions of high end can all be very different, of course. So I don't know what her definition of high end is, but I don't think I'm very high end. I said, curious what you think of folks who have a diesel pusher and only camp at motor coach resorts. Never mind, I already know.
Right. We RV'd a vacation.
Yeah.
Not to suffer.
This is our camping lifestyle. And what surprises us, I think, is some people who watch, the way they comment, they act like they've never heard of this style of camping ever. And it's like, really? Give me a break. Sima Sensation said, should you guys really be camping even in a resort? Ha ha ha, laughing face.
Yes. Yes, we should.
I said, apparently not. We should sell the camper and never venture out again.
No, but I will say yes because we like our lazy rivers and swim up bars and all that stuff. So yeah, we should.
This Mac guy said, I have never felt so sorry for AI in my life. I laughed and cried off this video. I will give you guys props for admitting you are camping princesses. Very entertaining, but also disheartening. And I commented back and said, oh, I'm so sorry we made you cry. That's so sweet. Thanks for watching our traumatizing experience.
I like how they say we're high end when I've got a 10-year-old Carhartt shirt on.
With grease stains.
Yeah.
Gerald said, get a clue, Val. Why camp if you can't stand a few bugs? Look, I would love to show you the 15 swelled up, like dime and quarter size bites I have from deer flies from the Gulf Shores.
Almost a month ago.
And I am still using anti-inflammatory creams and all this crap. So you don't know. If you don't get bit like I do and it doesn't swell and you're like allergic to certain bites, you wouldn't know. And the guy before who said he felt sorry for AI because I asked it a question about Georgia, I'm kind of like, really? Like, do you expect us to know everything about every little state and every little area? We literally were asking AI, like, is this a thing in this part of Georgia? Because yes, is this normal? We've been through this area a lot, but we haven't really camped there other than the Love's travel stop. Wait a second. Do you think we should know it all? We're not realtors.
That's funny.
That was good. Linda, 2 words, high maintenance. Perhaps taking some type of outdoor course would be helpful. You have to take an outdoor course to go camping? Personally, she would never stay at a campground. People are loud, rude, and generators are loud. Why should I have to pay money for those privileges? Hang on, she's not done. I don't care how big or how much you paid for that solar system. In my opinion, the 2 of you won't survive boondocking longer than 3 days. The really big problem will be having to always get set up in the sun for those rooftop panels or having to drive 600 miles a day if using DC-DC charger. She had a lot to say.
Well, she's obviously not watched her channel because if you know anything about us, we don't have a bunch of roof panels. And our system is not set up to... She's probably right about the 3 days part because that's not what the system I built. The system I built was for overnight.
Well, and going back to, she probably didn't watch the whole video because we said in the video, we're not boondocking to go dry camp in the middle of nowhere with nothing for days and weeks. We just want to overnight somewhere fun and nice on our way to our RV resort vacations.
It's also fun and nice.
Exactly. Oh, John Doe. John Doe has stuff to say. Do you know a lot of John Does? Apparently YouTube does.
Yeah.
Good God. Listening to her for more than 30 seconds must be exhausting. You can't read that?
No.
You need your readers?
I need my readers.
He needs his readers.
He's going to read it for me.
You wrote, this woman has more class and has the biggest heart and one of the most kind and fun personalities I've been privileged to have in my life. She's the reason I get to go on adventures like this. Jarrett. And then you said, also, welcome to YouTube. This must be the first video you watched? Mm-hmm. And then you said, she, along with our editor's creativity, is what caused you to click the video. But thanks for your critique, John Doe. Here's another one, Jackie. Why do you even have a camper? Crying face. And what do you have against goats and sheep contained in a pasture? Good grief, you said. This was, remember when you squealed? Mm-hmm. So Jarrett got a little snarky back, didn't you? First of all, we don't hate goats. The one creepy goat had a creepy eye or something.
All goats have creepy eyes.
I made one comment in that video that it had creepy eyes, and people like flipped out and lost their ever loving minds that we like hate goats. And I'm like, wait, first of all, we love baby goats. They're cute.
Kids.
Yeah, the big goats, they can be kind of creepy, but I'm not like scared of them. But you said, because she said, why do you all even have a camper? And you said, I'm not sure. We should sell it. Goats are creepy. The baby ones are adorable, though. Squeal. Jarrett. Just to be funny and a smart ass. Okay, Thomas said, sound like you need to sell the camper. Camping is not your cup of tea. Do you all think we should sell our camper and just quit? Camping is clearly not our cup of tea. I said us and a couple million other people would be a bad day for RV manufacturers, LOL. Good thing glamping is a thing. Go glampers. Jess said, sell the RV and just stay in motels. You're not cut out for camping, boondocking, or any other way. Well, I'm like, where are these people coming from?
Well, first off, we're not going to stay.
Because it's not us. They're talking to a lot of freaking people who camp like this.
First off, motels are gross. I would never stay in a motel.
I said that back to her. I was like, a motel? No.
Now, we might stay like a JW Marriott.
Exactly.
Those are expensive.
Hootie, brother.
Hootie.
That's right. JW. I said, oh, for heaven's sakes, where are you guys coming from out of the woodwork who think glampers should sell the RV and stay in hotels? We do, silly. Our hotel on wheels. Angela says, wow, yes, gnats are a South Georgia thing. Fire ants too. You really had to ask chat? Yeah, some people don't know everything. Just real estate agents know everything. That's actually a very nice winery, and you made it look pretty bad. That's a shame. If you can't handle gnats and fire ants, you should probably stay out of the South. This is my first time seeing you guys, so maybe it's just a bad first impression. Yes, I think so. And yes, you guys are totally quitters. I said, such a nice comment from a first timer. We'll take the compliment that our creative storytelling and YouTube packaging worked, smiley face. But you must not have watched the whole video because we actually said that it was nice and we would try again. We did actually compliment that harvest host. We said how nice it was inside and we really wanted to do this. I even recall saying, I really want to do this. You might have missed that part. It's okay though. Thanks for stopping by. And then Angela came back and this, I did put a star by this because this is actually someone I could be friends with. You know why? Because she can own up to something that she might have said out of snarkiness or a little bit of rudeness or a little bit of aggressiveness and came back and actually apologized, which is unheard of
Especially
on YouTube
yeah.
and social media. And she said, I must apologize for my snarky comment. I did actually watch the whole video. Just took it personally because that's the area I grew up in. Fire ants and gnats do actually suck. And the problem with treating the ants, as soon as you poison the bed, they move the queen and the bed spread even more. The heat and humidity suck too. I will watch more of your videos and keep my sarcasm in the cage. Safe travels.
Well, Angela, I will say this. I appreciate sarcastic comments because you get them from me. So sarcasm away. You're not going to hurt our feelings.
Well, in good humor.
Right.
Like, we love that. So, but the fact that she came back and was like, hey, okay, it was a little snarky. Nobody does that. And thank you, Angela. And we would love for you to keep watching if you like glampers. Mom to Bailey said, it doesn't sound like you guys are ready to go RVing. We've been RVing for like 15 years, but we're not ready.
Yeah, we'll get there one day.
Okay, I happened upon your video, so this is her first time too. So we got to give him a little bit of grace. For the first 20 minutes, you've done nothing but complain about goats and gnats and ants and a party. You either have to toughen up or sell the RV and stay in hotels. Watch your video back. You talk way more than needed.
Thanks, Mom and Bailey.
Oh my gosh, if I had $1, and it's not just me, I read it on other people's YouTube comments too about how much people talk. You talk too much. Shut up. You talk too much. You say too much. And it's like, go watch TikTok. This is long form content. Now, back to the video. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. Some of the stuff when it's personal attacks is hurtful. I'm not gonna lie, we're human. Any YouTuber will tell you that, or anyone on social media who's been like made fun of or attacked personally, or they point out your flaws or your physical appearance and just rip you to shreds. That's hurtful to anyone. Come on, that goes back to the golden rule. Please give me a break. Are we all adults here? Or are we children? Are we 14-year-olds? Apparently some of y'all still are.
And that's why, you know, in a lot of our videos, I'll just say this, that's why I make fun of myself all the time, is just because if I beat you to it, then it's no longer any fun to make fun of me.
Exactly. And if you can't make fun of yourself, then like, you know, you're taking life way too seriously. So a lot of times we do just make fun of ourselves.
Yeah.
It just is what it is. And if you want to be real and truthful and really dig deep into where we've been in our personal journey in lives and seasons of lives. Look, guys, we're in the real estate industry, okay? And we don't always talk about what we do for a living or what we've done for a living in the past 25 years, but we've taken some shit. And when you're in the real estate industry, you have to have a backbone, okay? People will rip you to shreds. It is a dog-eat-dog world. There ain't no making friends in this industry. People love to hate appraisers and realtors. Let's just leave it at that, okay? So you're only their friend for a minute until you're not. So all I'm saying to make my point in saying that is we are used to taking a little bit of a beating. And so in a sense, YouTube is no big deal for us. The negativity on YouTube is like, whatever, water off my back, delete, bye-bye Felicia, next. We found our people, and our people, our core audience, and our base camp members and the people who like to watch us and appreciate our content and camp the way we do and can relate to us. Y'all are the sweetest, and you make us want to continue doing this. And we'll talk more about that. So enough of the negativity. At this point, y'all are just getting deleted. Like, bye, go watch something else. Keep scrolling. It's not that hard. We were maybe naive. We've been naive to keep saying things like, everyone in the RV community is so awesome. Like, everyone is so kind and so helpful and so great. We've said that a lot, and I still want to believe that, and I still do. I want you guys to know that I think there's boondockers out there, contrary to what Jarrett said earlier, who are kind and who do allow people to try new things and allow new people into their space, and who aren't trying to be total jerks or like really critical of people who don't camp like they do. I think that there are good people still out there, and we want to believe that because we bought a Harvest Host membership this year wanting to open up new avenues for our channel, for ourselves, for new ways for us to camp. We've got this whole Victron thing going on. We want to try to use it, play with it, have fun. Like, what is life if you're not trying new things and having fun trying it? Sure, you're going to mess up, you're going to screw up. There's some things you're going to love and there's some things you're going to hate. Okay, not everybody likes dirt and bugs in their teeth and their feet. He doesn't like sand. Put him on a beach, camping at a beach, and if sand gets in his toes and in the camper, he has a little bit of a fit. So if y'all think I'm dramatic about gnats and bugs, he's dramatic about sand.
I don't. Sand on my toes is fine. I don't like sand in my vehicles, and I don't like sand in my camper. Going back to, I'm pretty particular about my camper, and that's why my camper's 2 years old with probably 20-some thousand miles on it, and pretty much still looks brand new.
And on that note, another thing I think I learned from all of that was that the comments actually weren't personal, because if that's how that group of campers feels about RV resort campers or glampers, you actually weren't offending just me and Jarrett. You're talking to everyone who camps just like us. And that being said, I feel like the whole glamping community in general would defend us and say, like, what are you even talking about? We all camp like this.
Right.
I think ultimately, if you just look at the numbers, there's more people who camp like we do than people who boondock.
Possibly, yeah.
I mean, I don't know the statistics on that. I'm sure some of you will just...
Based on the way the RV industry operates,
yeah,
you would think.
Right.
I even wanted to maybe play with the idea of getting a very small, tiny camper. Okay, I'll just share that with you all. If you're still watching at this point, you get a little bit of an insight to what we thought might be coming up next for the channel. Because I wanted to learn how to pull stuff myself. I want to hook it up to my 4Runner, this 4Runner. I want to, learn to put the X-Chocks in and camp in a way that's like, a little simpler without all the things, and maybe dry camp and fill the tanks. And I want to learn to do all that. And that being said, the comments from that video made me, for a second, back up from that whole plan of excitement I had to try something new. And isn't that sad? You should be able to be excited to get out of your comfort zone and try something new. And I'm just not gonna let that kind of negativity stop me from doing the things that maybe we wanted to try. Now, we're not currently there, and that's not happening this week or anything, but in the near future, that was gonna be a direction I thought that the channel might go, because it's something we wanna try. I want to try, especially. Wouldn't it be fun to see someone like me who freaks out about ants biting my ankles go out and hook all this shit up myself in a state park somewhere where there's bugs and mosquitoes? I hate them too. You guys hate them too. You tell us. We're not stupid. We know you're not going to get bit up. It sucks to get bit up. It sucks, especially when you're allergic to the bites. But if a person like me who can't deal with that kind of vector, isn't that what bugs are called, vectors?
I have no idea.
I think they're called vectors.
What's your vector, Victor?
Yeah, they are like infectious disease bugs that spread, mosquitoes. What's that disease they spread? Yeah, they spread a disease, guys. Okay, anyway, deer ticks spread disease. They're vectors. I think they're called vectors, right?
This is your story.
This is my story. Wouldn't that be interesting? Like Val and Jarrett, you know, luxury RV resort YouTubers, weekend warrior vacationers who like concrete pads and full hookups go, you know, dry camping in this teardrop where we have to climb over each other and in the woods.
We could always just go buy us a really nice tent. It'd be way cheaper.
Hell no, I'm not tent camping, so you can forget that.
So we watched KYD's video, I don't know, a week or so ago, and they were talking about just how YouTube has changed them. And you know, when you hear people talk about negative comments and the things like that, and you're like, well, you don't really experience until you start to really grow. And when you grow, YouTube pushes you out to different people to see if they're interested in your comment or your content, and then it just kind of keeps going and going and going, and then you really start to see some of the negative comments. And at first, it's not really that big of a deal, and most of the time it's not that really big of a deal until someone says something that's really personal. And you know, it's kind of like, I make a lot of mistakes in my videos, a lot, and you know, and I'll say this, like when you're driving, thinking about what you're going to say on camera and trying to keep your thoughts together and not sound like an idiot, which is really hard to do for me especially. I make mistakes, and I don't have to have you guys tell me that I made a mistake, because believe me, I know it happens. But overwhelmingly, the comments are good. It's like 80-20 rule, I think is what someone said. But sometimes that 20 will just makes you want to give up. I think you just kind of learn to roll with it. And now we're at this new stage of life for Valerie and I, like, you know, we're not really sure. Like, next year's Olivia's senior year, and like, we don't know what her content's going to be like next year, because we're going to be around for her senior year.
Well, and that's what we want to get to, is like, where is our next adventure going? Even though we thought we had a plan for 2026, it's now mid-2026. Again, surprisingly, this one video kind of caused us to reevaluate.
Sure.
So what is the plan for us? We're part-time. You know, we're not full-timers. So we have to make this fit your lifestyle, and all YouTubers have to. That's just part of it. Sometimes you wish you could do content this way, but it doesn't always work out like that, because it has to fit the lifestyle you live every day. I think we're feeling some sort of a fork in the road, or a stuck place, or a pivot happening for us. We just don't know what that direction should be.
So I think on that note, like, you know, if you guys will put in the comments, let us know, like, what kind of content would you like to see from us? And I'll be honest with you, don't say campground tours, because those are getting harder and harder to do, and they're super expensive to do, because that requires us to go somewhere. And believe it or not, yeah, we're making a little money on YouTube, but we're not making enough money.
Like, they don't pay.
Yeah, they don't pay.
So what are they going to see every week from us moving forward?
I don't know.
Well, before we talk about that some more, let's talk about where you can currently find us, because we do get this question often. Currently, you can find us on YouTube and the school platform, which is our paid private community. That is it. Yes, we used to have Instagram. Yes, we used to have Facebook. We no longer have those social media pages up. Number one, they're too much to manage.
Well,
Number two, the negativity and the spam and the scammers. It's a real thing. Ugh, and it's annoying.
The big reason we're not on social media is we don't have time. But like I say, we both work full time, in between commenting back to people on YouTube and doing the things we do. The Monday morning rolls around, you know, we're back at work. It's very difficult, because this is not a full-time gig for us. And so that's a big reason why we post on Sunday mornings, is because Sunday morning is kind of a lazy morning for us. We will sit around and have our coffee and kind of comment back to you guys. But like, once we get into Monday, we don't comment back much, because we're busy. And then we run into like Facebook, we're constantly getting messages and whatnot, and while we don't mind them and we appreciate you guys reaching out, it makes it hard for us to get back to you guys. And so we're like, you know, we would just rather shut down that platform, because we don't want you to think we're being rude by not responding.
We don't actually use these platforms ourselves anymore. We never scroll Facebook anymore. I stopped scrolling Instagram years ago.
So we watched a Casey Neistat video this morning on YouTube, and I've actually really got to where I like this channel. You should definitely check him out. Like, he needs our help, but he has a massive channel. But he was talking about social media and referred to it as like a bag of chips.
Which I brought you a visual. Okay, Casey's awesome. If you don't know who Casey Niestat is, are you even watching YouTube?
All right, you're doing it wrong.
Because he's one of the OG vloggers, right, from years ago. Like, popular as Mr. Beast, almost, I'd say.
Yeah.
But he did a video, and he used this analogy, this bag of chips. Okay, this bag of chips. Social media is like a bag of chips. And I brought this bag of chips and taped it up just like he did, just to show you that, like, because it was such a good analogy.
Well, his theory he's like, if you eat a bag of chips, like you're hungry, and you're looking for something to eat, and you eat a bag of chips, you typically eat it, and when you're done, you don't feel fulfilled, and you're a little bit miserable. Or if you ate a meal, you would feel replenished and fulfilled. And he said social media is the same way. And he goes, so what happens is you get on Facebook, you doom scroll for an hour or 2 hours, and then you kind of, when you get done, you're like, I can't believe I just wasted all that time. You know, why did I do that? And you feel inherently worse about your life because
you didn't really get anything inspirational from it or like productive from it.
Or if you just spent the same time watching a movie or reading a book, you just tend to feel more fulfilled.
Yes.
And that was the gist of his thing this morning. And I think Valerie and I have felt that way for a long time. Like, I have been, and this is, you guys will laugh at me if you want to, I have been considering going back to a flip phone. I've been talking about it for like a year and a half, just because I'm just tired of all the distractions. And I still have a tablet, and I'll use my tablet for work, and that will have all my stuff on if I need to do something. But like my watch right here, I have a smartwatch that I wear during the work week because people are always messaging me from my office and whatnot, and it's just easier for me to kind of keep up with my stuff. But I've got to, when I get to Friday, I put the smartwatch away, and I just wear my old Timex here because it doesn't remind me to look at my phone, which I think is, like, we look at these devices too much anyway. And I think going back to the very beginning of this conversation is what makes society being worse. Because, if you take social media and you look at it, like, the algorithm feeds you what you want to see. So if you want to see stuff that's like, I don't know, I'm gonna use something funny. Like, if you're into rainbows and unicorns and you search rainbows and unicorns, eventually the algorithm knows that you're into rainbows and unicorns, and that's all you get. And so if you're into whatever point of view that you're into, and you stay on these phones, and they're designed to keep you engaged, it just feeds you more stuff, whether it's stuff that makes you angry or happy or whatever. It makes you, did you see that so-and-so did this? Oh my God, can you believe that? And the next thing you know, there's 47 stories about how so-and-so did this. And then you take that outside of your house with you. And I think my honest, and this is like kind of like counterproductive being a YouTuber, is like, my honest opinion is we need to get off social media more. So, that's just how I feel about it. It's like Facebook is not good for you. Instagram is not good for you. TikTok, I've never had a TikTok account. And so, but it's all these like really fast, like moving things that just to keep you sucked into your device so they can essentially sell you things. And I think the best analogy that I could give you is that, like, we don't really make anything in the US anymore. We're not a manufacturing economy, we're a consumer economy. And it's kind of like in the very first Matrix where they said that, they basically just turned us into batteries to power the machine. There's a lot of truth to that.
So all that being said, those are really the only two places you're going to be able to find us and connect with us. YouTube, because we only do long form YouTube content. I don't even watch short form. I will on occasion if I just need to learn something real quick, but if it's useless, mindless, just entertainment, I don't do that very often. Again, like we talked about, the eating the bag of chips things, it just makes me feel some kind of way. That being said, because I don't watch short form content, we don't create short form content. So you'll only see storylines from us, and on this actual video, we might get comments that this is too long, we talk too much, blah, blah, blah. Again, back to the no patience conversation we've been having. If this ain't your thing, keep scrolling, man. That's what TikTok's for. So if you do love our content and you do want to see more of us and you do want to connect with us and like literally get to know each other, camp together, be part of a community where you can camp with like-minded RVers who just want to have a good time, you might consider joining our private, yes, it is paid community. And if you want to argue why we would charge $10 a month, I mean, go ahead and argue with yourself, because a lot of people who have joined also agree that that $10 filter filters out the people who want the free social media experience. If we did not put a filter on it, a financial filter on it, it would feel like Facebook page. And that is not what we want.
I think, the cool part about our base camp is that there's like meaningful friendships being made in that group.
So many friendships being formed.
And we get to know people and we've made friends. But the cool part to me, and if you've ever been to one of our events, is like I always say, like the greatest thing that can happen is you meet someone who's in your area and you become friends, you have like interests doesn't have to be me and Valor.
Yeah, and they have.
And they start doing things together, and we're seeing that happen all the time.
And that could be like that's like the ultimate reward for us doing all of this, is making real friends and creating the relationships that we have. Some people come in and decide it's not for them and they go. That's fine. That's normal. That's okay. You don't know until you try. ONA Base Camp is not just about the meetups and the gatherings and the local hotspot outings and the campouts. We have all these terms, and you have to be part of the group to understand what our different gatherings are about and what they're for. Some are ticketed, some are not. And some are just, hey, we'll be camping here. Y'all want to meet? Cool. That is not the only reason you should join, because we're not always having in-person events. So there's more like Zoom call type things. Well, it's in the school platform, but it's like a Zoom call. Where we have guest features. We have guest feature calls. We've had several different YouTube channels come in and different people so far. It's been a lot of fun. Our members help each other out with like campground recommendations. We talk about cooking all the time, campground cooking, and like maintenance questions, and they help each other out. It's not just about me and Jarrett chiming in, it's the group helping each other. And that, I think, is a core piece of being a part of the community. So if you don't want to engage on a platform like that and you're just looking for when meetups will be, then I wouldn't join. Because we might announce those in our free newsletter, but we're not very good about that. And our Basecamp members fill up our meetups before they even get to the newsletter. So if you want to join, be a part, that is the best way that you'll be able to connect with us. And if not, we totally understand. We're okay with it being a small, tight-knit community. Back to the $10 thing, we feel like $10 is very fair. In fact, we've had some members ask us to increase it in case the group were to get too big. I find that interesting.
Yeah.
But we haven't yet. We don't really feel the need to. We're not trying to gouge anyone. It does cost us a lot of time on the platform, and a lot of effort to be engaged every day, pretty much every day. But it does cost us some time, and so the compensation is worth it, of course, for us. However, the $10 on your part as a member, we feel, in our opinion, is very minimal compared to what we've heard some other people charge. Now, we do not do YouTube memberships. We do not do that exclusive insiders only member content where we're just creating content, more content for you to watch, but you have to pay for it. I don't find that that's very connected. At least as a viewer, I don't see it that way. So we really love the school platform.
So if you don't want to join school, that's cool. Like, I get it. I understand. There's other things you can do. Like if you want to get the Road Ready Logbook or the RV Kitchen Companion or the Adventure Deck, those are little things that we have out there that help support the channel. And if you still don't want to spend any money, that's cool. The biggest thing you can do is like and subscribe.
And watch the video.
And watch the video. And that helps us more than you realize.
So back to the one guy that caused us to, really was the reason why we deleted the Facebook page for our next adventure. We're talking about like being who you are, a person of integrity. We got this comment on Facebook regarding that video, and the dude took the time to leave YouTube, go over to Facebook, and type us this comment about, oh my God, I can't believe you freaked out over a bug, you little sissy, quitters, whatever he said. It wasn't long, but it was enough for me to go, you took the time to leave YouTube and go over to Facebook to tell us how disapproving you are over this video and our style of camping, or the fact that we don't like bugs in our camper. So I never do this. I'm not the kind of person who clicks on people's profiles because I'm nosy and like Google people, or like, I don't do that normally because number one, I don't care. So, but this time I clicked on his profile, and lo and behold, he looked like a nice dude, someone we would probably camp with, you know, him and his wife and family, nice pictures of him and his family standing in front of a cross and at their church several times throughout his feed. And I thought, okay, the dude got hacked. He must have gotten hacked. That's not the same dude that commented, correct? Like, he must have, this person's Facebook page got hacked and somebody else commented.
I know what it is.
It's not the case. Thank you to that person who finally was the reason to hit the delete button and eliminate the whole Facebook page. Because nobody has time for that. Like, I just don't have time for that mess.
Right.
Seriously, guys, we love our Next Adventure community. You guys make us want to keep doing this more. And this has become such a great creative outlet for me. We actually enjoy making content for this channel. So thank you so much for all the positive and connected people who comment and engage with our content each week. And if you seriously want to watch someone who's really creative at their vlogging, seriously, Casey Niestat is someone to watch. Now, if you're looking for that social media bag of chips video, he puts these little nuggets inside other videos. So it's not titled that. It's actually titled Never Ever Surf in New York City's East River. So look up Casey Neistat, that video, that's where you'll find the bag of chips analogy that he gave, and it was really great. So anyway, thanks for watching, guys.
And he needs the subscribers, so make sure you subscribe.
I'm starving. Want some chips? Social media chips. Okay on occasion.